Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Got just a quick video for you guys today. I want to update you guys on some news that just occurred. Had a meetup yesterday. It was unbelievable here in LA. About 600 people there. Room completely full. Big shout out to Altcoin Daily, Crypto Stash. They were both there, and it went really well. And I'm just always amazed at how many people show up from the BitSquad. Love you guys. Woke up a little bit late today. I'm on West Coast time. Just wanted to hop on here and make a quick video for you guys. So sorry for no live stream. We woke up, my wife and I did, to some pretty devastating news about a student that goes to our son and our daughter's, our daughter's school. A tragedy that occurred. Fourth grade student lost his life, and it's just very extremely sad. You guys just got to remember, life isn't guaranteed. Nothing is assured tomorrow. And, it's times like this that, it puts everything into perspective when there is a tragedy around you. And just want to, thoughts and prayers to that family. And, I think, like I said, it's just one of those moments, it puts stuff into perspective. Crypto is important. Money is important. Finances are important. But the most important thing that you can have is your life, and to cherish those around you, and spend time with people while you have it. So that's what my wife and I are doing this weekend. We're having a good time here in LA for the Super Bowl. Excited about that, and it's just one of those things. We just want to hop on here, give you guys an update on something that is going on. But one thing for the meetup last night that questions we got asked a lot: Are we in a bull market? Are we on a bear market? That's the most important thing everybody wants to know, and we still just don't have that answer. As long as we stay above $28.5 thousand, then we can still say that we are bullish. But we got some news today that is very interesting about what's going on Monday. Okay, there is now an expedited Fed meeting occurring on Monday. Now, there has not been an expedited Fed meeting since 2015. Now, what occurred immediately following that expedited Fed meeting? This, of course, has to do with raising rates, interest rates, the quantitative easing, the whole nine yards. The last time they had one of these meetings 7 years ago, they pretty much immediately raised the rates following that. If you guys have been tracking along with the price of Bitcoin, you will have seen that we hit almost $46,000. We've been targeting $46,000 as a number to where if it goes above that, we feel very bullish. If it gets rejected and can't pass over that number, then that's a good sign that this was possibly just a relief rally. Well, we got to $45,850, then got rejected. Really lines up with that. Now we get the news of this expedited Fed meeting. So, are we going to see them raise rates immediately following this? I can definitely see it. I've been telling you guys for a while. I believe they are going to raise the rates. I believe it is going to be a 0.25% raise. I think they're probably going to do 3 of those raises this year. Fortunately, Bitcoin is at a place at about $44,000 right now, to where if this news does come, and even if we got, even we got a 10% drop, that still puts us above $39,500. And I think that is really, really good, because, we imagine if Bitcoin was only at $34,000 or $35,000 and we got an expedited Fed meeting and we got an interest rate hike, that could push Bitcoin back down into territory that the momentum could carry it back below, the $28,500 level. We have to pierce $33,000 first. This is, of course, where we did not go below in January, so that's a good number to watch. But this is something we got to watch, guys. We got to watch this very seriously and see what happens on Monday. This weekend is the Super Bowl. A lot of people are really excited about it. There's going to be a lot of crypto advertising. They're calling it the Crypto Bowl. In LA, of course, they've got the Crypto.com Center here, or a Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center. So a lot of big stuff going on. This could be a make or break moment for Bitcoin and this bull run. People might look back, and if this Fed meeting goes the wrong way, they could look back as this was the linchpin kind of to the entire bull run bear market scenario. We could see Bitcoin drop dramatically. So I just want to tell you guys, continue to be prepared either way for where Bitcoin is going to go. I feel like talking to people last night, and big shout out to Holly, my office manager. She's the one that really planned the event last night. Absolutely phenomenal. We love doing these meetups. And there were a lot of people there that Some people were in really great situations, changed their lives. Talked to a girl who's 23 years old, already got $100,000 to her name, which is huge for being 23 because of crypto, got her family involved. Then I spoke to other people who, some lost all their money in a hack. Some got in April or March at pretty much the peak, and they're wondering what to do if they're upside down. But just remember this, guys, no matter what happens, if you get hacked, if you're down, if you're upside down on trades, take that long-term mindset. And what I see people doing a lot of times is they see the promise of the long-term mindset, but they still get caught up by stuff that happens in the short term. And what I mean by that is people are constantly looking for that quick fix to their problems. There, a lot of people, they say, I think I want to learn how to leverage trade. Like, I want to be a day trader. What's a 100x coin I can get in right now and get up to the moon in a short period of time, so then I can take the long-term mindset. That's not a long-term mindset, So, the long-term mindset is understanding that Bitcoin consistently goes up over time. The top crypto projects, the long-term investable projects, your layer 1 protocols, your layer 2s, your polygons, projects like that, your infrastructure, your FTTs, your CROs, your BNBs. When you look at these, your chain links, when you look at oracles, things that are really helping bridge the world between where it is to blockchain in the future, these are long-term mindsets. And, I think for a lot of people, it's hard to put your focus there instead of thinking the short term. But I'm telling you guys, the more you can shift away from looking at what your portfolio is today and then imagining what your portfolio is going to be in 5 or 10 years, that's really the move. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be focused on. We might get really bad news on Monday. We might get bad news of the Fed meeting. We might get a gigantic price dump next week. Bitcoin could head lower than it did over the summer. We could be in a longer term downtrend. But overall, on the long term, we're all going to make it, we're all going to crush it, and we're all going to do well, and that includes you. There is an interesting chart going around that is showing the, we talk a lot about the short-term holder, the STH, the short-term holder, and what that means. There's a lot of charts showing the short-term holders are out of gas. Your long-term holders are now firmly in control of the supply of Bitcoin, and that seems to indicate that maybe we have found a bottom. So maybe we could reach another bottom around 33K. Maybe we could drop there again. But the selling is running out of steam, and that's the important thing. So no matter what happens on Monday, remember, long-term mindset. Don't be thinking short-term. Look at where crypto and Bitcoin have gone, and you'll be much better off for doing that. Next week we're going to be back in the studio. We got our signs up on the building, so that's exciting. You guys can check out some of that stuff on our Instagram, and you can see it's going to be big stuff coming, guys. Long term, not short term. Remember that. Keep the focus, and make sure you tell everybody in your family that you love them today. All right, that's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.